everybody? It's your boy Todd Smith here once again with yet another episode of the No Gimmicks Podcast alongside my tag team partner Dale Clifford out there in Fernley, Nevada. Dale, what's good, my man?
Alrighty, year-end stuff. So it was a chance for us to look back on the year 2016. We did a worst of episode, so I hope you will check that one out. And then also, taking out the month of December, we did a top matches for December. So hopefully you give that one a look. Give us a subscribe, like us, check those videos out, and we'll go ahead and now we'll get into the top moments from professional wrestling for the year 2016. So, Todd, first the topic is the Wrestler of the Year. Who you got?
I've got to go with my man Shinsuke Nakamura, Dale. This guy has had an incredible year. You look at all of what he has accomplished. This guy had possibly one of the best matches in all of professional wrestling in New Japan Pro Wrestling well before he made his way into the WWE at Wrestle Kingdom 10 versus AJ Styles. Then he comes into WWE a House of Fire. The crowd literally gets behind him from the moment he gets in the ring, humming his theme song on the way to the ring. Like I said, I've never seen a guy who literally got in the ring and stretched and was getting all these pops and all these cheers from the crowd. Not only that, he broke down the color barrier. There has never really been a dominant Asian face in the WWE or WWF, and for him to be also, undefeated and an NXT title holder for the majority of 2016. And for that reason, I've got to give him the distinct honor of the best wrestler for 2016. Dale, your thoughts?
Very, very solid choice, because obviously, as you mentioned, he had the Wrestle Kingdom 10 match with AJ Styles, came in with Sami Zayn at NXT Dallas, two matches that are considered top matches of the year. So right there alone could qualify him. And obviously, my choice for Wrestler of the Year is Nakamura's Wrestle Kingdom 10 opponent, AJ Styles.
Right.
The finally getting into the WWE. Obviously, what helps him become Wrestler of the Year is that match with Shinsuke Nakamura. But then he gets a match at WrestleMania with Chris Jericho, Hall of Famer. Then he gets the great feud with John Cena and a great match at SummerSlam. And then he ends the year with a great feud with Dean Ambrose in a hell of a TLC match. Obviously, he had all the stuff with James Ellsworth, but put that aside, AJ Styles is showing you why he is the best wrestler in the world.
Yes, it's tough to argue. It truly is. I would say, if I had to probably label them, it'd probably be like 1 and 1A. It would really be tough to say either one of those guys will come after the other. So, great choice, Dale. Great choice there, Dale. So, moving on to the next topic. Let's go to the women. Gotta give the women some props here. Who do you feel was the best female wrestler from the year 2016, Dale?
Yeah, this was a bit of a tough choice. Because Lucha Underground's got a few. Ring of Honor, you don't get showcased too much of Women of Honor. Impact Wrestling, I didn't really see too much strong there. And the WWE women,
no,
I'm kind of iffy a little bit with how they've been used on the main roster. So mine comes from NXT. It is the current NXT champion, Asuka. She has not lost.
Yeah.
She remains undefeated, and right now she has absolutely just torn through the women's division. So that plain and simple is like, to me, it's like she hasn't lost. So to me, it's like she has to be the women's wrestler of the year. She hasn't lost.
Yeah. I mean, at one point in time, I compared her to another Asian superstar who used to be on the WWE roster, and I actually think will be returning once again to compete in the Cruiserweight division. Yoshihiro Tajiri. She is the female version of the Japanese buzzsaw. Watch out for Asuka. She is lethal. My choice is Setsy Star from Lucha Underground. You want to talk about a woman who can get out there and mix it up with the male competitors week in and week out. Not only does she compete in the stipulation matches, no holds barred matches, she's bled, she's fought in cage matches. She actually was the Lucha Underground heavyweight champion. Now that's saying something because they do not actually have a women's title over there in Lucha Underground. So she really was sort of a pioneer this year to win a title that basically was designated pretty much for the male athletes over there in Lucha Underground. Quite a strong year for her, and I'm looking forward to see what she can do in the year 2017 as well. So, Dale, who do you feel was the best tag team in all of professional wrestling in 2016?
All right, this was a tough one for me. I got two strong candidates that I was trying to choose from between the Young Bucks and the Revival.
Okay.
Ultimately, I think I got to go with Matt and Nick, the Young Bucks. They just flat out, and this isn't taking anything away from the Revival, because I think both teams just every time when the spotlights are the brightest, they absolutely deliver. I just think this one has to go to the fact that the Young Bucks are the IWGP Tag Team Champions and ROH Tag Team Champions. They just did it over multiple companies throughout the year.
Yeah, and it's really cool because Young Bucks can make themselves stand out as much as they do without being featured on the WWE roster in any way, shape, or form, even though they have received offers at one point in time for them to kind of say, hey, we're going to keep on doing our thing in ROH and New Japan and kind of stay on the indie scene here stateside and wrestle one of the major companies over there in Asia. I think, these guys, literally, there's no limit to their future. I almost think it's best that they stay away from the WWE because if they went there, their style would have to be toned down so much they would kind of lose a bit of their identity. But, Dale, I'm going to piggyback off of your sentiments, and my choice for the best tag team from 2016 has got to be the Revival. The Revival literally was featured in, a series of grueling matches versus DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. One of the top matches of 2016 actually was their best 2 out of 3 falls match from NXT TakeOver from not too long ago. If you look at these guys, they were just paired up within maybe about the past year or two. You basically have two relatively unknowns, and Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson there. And these guys, their chemistry is just unbelievable. They are sort of an old school mashup of like the Smash Mouth hard hitting Anderson brothers, and they have the creative, innovative offense of the old school Midnight Express. Definitely my pick for a top tag team of 2016 there. So, moving on here to the top feud of 2016 all of professional wrestling. Dale, what's your take on this one?
So, this one I had 3. I was kind of debating back and forth one. I kept erasing and typing in as we were going through. I had Miz and Ziggler, Charlotte and Sasha, and Shinsuke and Samoa Joe. I had penciled in penciled in early Samoa Joe and Shinsuke, but then I just kind of felt like the last 2 matches in that feud kind of petered it out a little bit. And then I didn't like the hot potatoing of the women's championship between Charlotte and Sasha. So I went with The Miz and Dolph Ziggler. Obviously, huge fan of The Miz, and I just felt like one of the biggest matches of the year was Miz versus Dolph Ziggler at No Mercy when you had the title versus the career. I just think that these two helped push their stocks back up to the top of WWE, and that's what you get. Is like that's what you need when you talk about best feuds of the year. Did it elevate the performance of the two stars? And I absolutely think this feud did for both guys.
Very tough to argue. Now, you and I kind of had some conversation about this in our top matches of 2016 episode from the month of December. I'm going to actually go with the old school blood feud between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole as my top feud from 2016. This feud did not just exist in one year. It has actually carried over a series of years. That is just something that we do not see in professional wrestling anymore. It's rare nowadays. Also, like I said, the fact that these guys, they're bleeding in their matches. They're using all kinds of weapons, including like the old school Russian chain, which they have featured in their match from Final Battle 2016, even though that did not go as planned. And like I said, the finish was a little anticlimactic. But still, I still believe that was one of the top matches of 2016, and that feud, culminated with Kyle O'Reilly winning his first ROH World Heavyweight Championship, and for that reason, him getting the edge over Adam Cole and them kind of putting a cap on that feud, that's my choice for top feud of 2016 wrestling. Let's move on here to the top match of 2016. Dale, what's your thoughts on this one?
You want to talk about the hardest decision of our best of worst of was deciding the match of the year.
Easily.
So
So many options.
There are so many options. It's like, unfortunately, because of the dated access to New Japan, we don't see much of that in its current form. So much of the New Japan action isn't making our consideration. But I did want to highlight three matches that were listed, and I definitely think that people need to go see. It's like, obviously, Ladder War 6, which we covered and even made our countdown because we'd seen a highlight package from Will Ospreay versus Ricochet from the Super Juniors, which I know that we discussed just because of the nature of that one trending because it was such the huge spot fest. And then obviously, as we touched on,
non-stop action.
And then the match that we touched on when we were going over our wrestlers of the year, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura from Wrestle Kingdom 10. Did not see that one. I just know that they had that match, as like, and everybody talked about that one being a big deal. So those are just three I know.
I got to see that one.
I just know those are three that we kind of had touched on throughout the year. I didn't really put them too much in consideration because I didn't see them fully. So my match of the year, though, is going to be AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose's TLC match.
Okay. Not a bad choice at all. Yeah, definitely a solid offering from the WWE, and probably one of the more memorable matches featuring some of the more memorable spots. That springboard 450 to the floor to Dean Ambrose, who was laying prone on the table. That is one of the coolest spots in wrestling that I probably ever seen. And for him for AJ to hit that as precise as he did, that was really just something, just quite a sight to behold. My thoughts on this one is, like I said, there were just so many different options. We did our share of research when we put this show together here, and I saw a list that had quite a few matches from Battle of Los Angeles 2016, which I have not got the chance to see yet. Also, lots of matches from New Japan and whatnot. I actually got to see AJ versus Nakamura from Wrestle Kingdom 10. That was a pretty solid offering, but I had to go with probably my most memorable match of 2016. It had to be Ladder War 6 from the All-Star Extravaganza 8 pay-per-view from ROH, featuring the Young Bucks, the Addition, and the Motor City Machine Guns. That spot where they gave him the, I want to say it was the Meltzer driver through the table, I have never seen anything quite like that. Those three guys, those three teams, they just absolutely brought it, and they practically almost killed themselves in the process for the entertainment of the fans in attendance and the viewers at home. That's my match of the year. Ladder War 6 from All-Star Extravaganza 8. So that leaves us with one final topic here. The top moment in professional wrestling from 2016. The best moment. Dale, what do you have to say about this one?
Well, it was one that we kind of felt it was coming. But until you actually see it happen, you don't really believe that it is really going to happen. And that was the number 3 entrant in the Royal Rumble being that of AJ Styles and him finally joining the WWE.
Yeah, tough to argue because it's so interesting how many years in the making that actually was. You know, AJ was offered a deal to join the WWF prior to them even becoming the WWE years and years ago, and he actually decided to turn them down and stay with TNA at the time. You know, I think once he decided to move on from TNA and he was over there in New Japan and he had captured the IWGP title, I just think he felt it was time to move on and display his skill set. You know, and I guess what you consider the premier company in all of professional wrestling, sports entertainment, the WWE. My top moment here, is it goes right along with my worst moment from 2016. We finally get our wish. Finn Balor makes his appearance on the WWE roster, and they actually put him over Roman Reigns. That moment right there, I think it shocked a lot of people that the WWE actually had the guts to pull that move off there, to put him over the man who was considered the guy in the new face of the WWE, earning him the opportunity to face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam for the WWE Universal title. Now, we know what happened during that match. He got injured, and he wound up forfeiting the title. But just the mere fact that WWE was actually willing to put Finn in that spot to let him be the face of a new era, that to me was the best moment of 2016. And hopefully Finn makes the recovery and he's able to come back and have a strong 2017.
Yeah, so definitely Agree with a lot of what you said, and I just hope that 2017 brings us another solid year of wrestling, and definitely looking forward to the fact that our January matches of the month are actually going to be able to include Wrestle Kingdom 11.
Yes. Looking forward to that. So all you New Japan fans out there, yes, the King of Sports is going to be included in some of our episodes of the No Gimmicks podcast here. So yeah, we'll be providing our thoughts on the match of the top show from over there in New Japan coming here real soon. So we thank all of our viewers and our listeners for joining us for this episode of the best moments in all professional wrestling from the year 2016. Thank you for joining us. Please visit our official YouTube channel. You can find us at www.youtube.com/the No Gimmicks Podcast. If you would like to receive our notifications when we release our new episodes, then please subscribe. We would like to hear from our viewers, so please leave us some feedback in our comments section on our official YouTube channel. Also, please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at the No Gimmicks PC. Be on the lookout for my updates on my personal LinkedIn account weekly, usually on Monday afternoons. Also, check out Craig Perkins' weekly article featured on ProWrestling.com. And remember, sharing is caring. Feel free to share the links to our episodes with other pro wrestling fans on your social media accounts as well. That does it for this episode of No Gimmicks Podcast. For my tag team partner Dale Clifford in Fernley, Nevada, this is Todd Smith in Bristol, Connecticut signing off. Until next time around, y'all take care.